What is going on, everybody? Another installment in the Supercharger build for the 3000 GT. So, being that this is a 100% custom job, you've heard me say before, you learn a lot as you go, and you can pretty much get anything done in life if you're not afraid to put a little time into it, spend a lot of money, and especially if you're not afraid to fail. So, this video is not so much on a failure, but I ran across another problem, and if anybody ever wants to do something like put a supercharger on a car that there's not a bolt-on kit for, and do something completely custom, like take a Eaton M90 and flip it upside down, plumb it into an intercooler, then I hope these videos have been helping you out, because I've been learning a lot as I go, and I hope you guys are learning with me. And one day, who knows, when I work all the kinks and all the bugs out of this system, I might get crazy and do another one. But on the second one, I'll learn from all my mistakes. So this video is on my belts. So here was the supercharger belt that was on there before. And as you can see, I had some delamination on the backside. A couple ribs tearing off of it, and a lot of this was because of belt slip. Get that to focus. So as you guys know, I'm running a 2 1/4 inch pulley on a 4 1/2 inch crank pulley. So that pulley is really small, and so small that we are getting some slip. I also mentioned that I'm only getting about 3 psi on my boost. And I think what's happening, because even in this car at idle, if I touch this belt when the car shuts off, it's super hot. So I know I'm slipping, might even be slipping at idle, but the way I did my tensioner, it's not. It's a this car, all the tensioners are this way. They're when you set the belt tension, it just stays. It doesn't have an automatic adjustment to it, so you tend to over tighten things, and I think that's a lot. One is I was over tightening this belt to get it to not slip, and this was just a plain micro V Gates, so it's not even a heavy duty belt, but I had it on there really just to learn what was going to be a good belt or not. And you can't just go for the best sometimes because you just don't have the money. So what I've done on this is I cut some slots into this pulley using my angle grinder, and some of these, I ran a wire wheel across them. They're pretty, got a nice little edge on them, so hopefully this will, and I did them at an angle. I got some nicks right here on the edge, but I did them on an angle because I wanted to get them fairly deep, but I didn't want my cutting wheel, I was using a 4 1/2 inch cutting wheel. If I would have done them this way, to be perpendicular, I definitely would have cut through the sides of the pulley. So I did them at an angle to help with some belt slip. And then I purchased the Gates Fleetwood heavy duty belts, Fleet Runner heavy duty belts, the green one, which of course looks nice up against my green car, which was another great selling point. But I've heard a lot of guys running these on superchargers and had great luck with them. So I'm going to install that with this slotted pulley, and then we're going to take this thing for a spin and see if we can build any more boost. If I keep getting belt slip, so the hope is that this guy will last me at least a year. I'm okay with taking out this intercooler pipe and replacing a $40, like $42, $42 belt once a year. But I don't want to get in the habit of having to replace a belt a month or anything crazy like that. So if this doesn't work, then my next step would be, I don't know if you can even see that guy down in there, but I got to get I'll order another 12 rib crank pulley. Probably go with a Grip Tech, and I'll get that in like a 6 inch, because right now that's a 4 1/2. Go with like a 6 inch and then upsize this one to like a 3. But in order to do that, if I did that all with Grip Tech and then had the hub made down here to fit the grip tech to this crankshaft, I mean, you're looking at, you know, probably $600 easy just to upgrade the pulleys. So I'm hoping this little slits cut in here with a heavy duty belt and try and get the right tension on it can get me for a while. So I'm gonna turn this off while I put this belt on, because it's a pretty labor intensive job, because you ain't got much room down there and you got to do it all from underneath. I'll get the belts on, show you what it looks like, and then we'll take the car for a spin and see if we can improve upon this 3 psi. Because then in reality, you know, as I'm overspinning the supercharger as is I should continue to build boost, not jump up to 3 psi immediately and then it just plateaus. I mean, I should be coming over that. And you know, it took some driving and some learning and talking with some other guys to realize that belt slip may be my problem, which I can't say that I didn't expect that with running such a small pulley up here. There's just not a lot of belt surface area on that pulley. So let me get this green belt on, tightened up. I'll bring you back and we'll go for a spin. Alright, there's my fancy new green belt. Let's go ahead and drop this hood and take it for a spin. Well, I didn't build any more than about 3 to 4 psi of boost. That was a little disappointing, but I'm pretty sure my belt is not slipping now, which that's a plus. I'll just have to monitor it to make sure that you know, this belt's gonna last a lot longer, but we'll just monitor it over time. But for now, I'm gonna hammer down on it in 3rd gear and you can see what I see. So you can see when I get into the upper RPMs, you know, I'll start to lose some boost pressure, and I think honestly that's probably my plenum. My plenum is a lot smaller than it probably needs to be, but it's just sucking all the air up that it can make. So that's probably why I'm not building any more boost than what I am. But overall, I mean, I'm happy with it. I just need to fine tune the engine, and then I'll get you guys a dyno run on it. You know, but it, even though it's only 3 pounds of boost, it builds it pretty quick. So get ready to make a turn right here. Then we'll hammer down on it one more time in 2nd gear. I got a car that's going past me, and then I'm gonna hammer down on it. See how fast these RPMs climb. Well, as you guys heard that flapping sound, my new belt looks like it disintegrated an entire rib off of the inside, and then it messed my heat shield up, which is not ideal. So I just got to figure out what's going on now, because it jumped a rib here and on the power steering pulley and on the crank pulley. So the entire belt jumped over one rib, and yeah, so I'm gonna try and figure out what's going on with this, and then we'll see what's going on. But ain't nothing like blowing $40, 40 plus bucks in a couple hours of time, but we'll figure it out. We'll see you guys on the next one.